Morning Dakin Bakers. Today we're going to make some mushroom soup, which is very popular in the cafe. Lots of people have asked me how I make it, so this is your chance to see. It's one that Grant makes a lot, so he's a bit of an expert at it, but sadly he hasn't got internet, so he won't be able to watch this. First of all, we're going to peel an onion. Just a small onion because there's only 2 of us for lunch. Peel and chop this onion. Nice and small because this is one of the soups at the cafe that we don't liquidise, because I like to see the chunks of mushroom in there. So we don't want to see massive bits of onion either, do we? So nice small bits of onion. It's not a very nice day here again. It's been snowing and hailing and it's windy and raining. It's first day of summer today. Got an hour less in bed. I don't know whether you remember to put your clocks forward. I sort of remembered yesterday but then forgot. And then woke up this morning and realised it was an hour later than I thought it was. So everything's been a bit strange today. Right, so let's put the onion in the pan. Because this is a soup that we don't want to liquidise and we like it quite creamy, we're going to put some butter in there and some olive oil. So put that on the heat, and while that's frying off slowly, we'll chop up our mushrooms. Now these are the mushrooms that were left the other day from the leek and mushroom gratin. So it's good to find a way to use them up. We do like mushrooms in this house, so I've got a mushroom recipe lined up for you next week as well. Hope you will like mushrooms. So today I've been to the shops. That was an experience, queuing outside in the snow. Because we had to get, as well as a few supplies, we had to get garden compost so we can keep ourselves busy when we're not at work. I bought ourselves a kaffir lime leaf tree this week, which is going to go out into the garden next to the lemon tree hopefully, and we'll be using a lot of the kaffir limes in our cooking in the future. So let's have a look at our onions. I can't hear anything, it's all a bit slow today. So with our soup, I have already today baked a loaf of bread. So I'll get that out so you can see it. We've seen the mushrooms. So here's the loaf of bread. Another nice loaf of sourdough. Nice and crusty on the top. Just come out the oven so it's nice and warm. So that'd be lovely with our mushroom soup. Let's put that in the washing up. Just starting to sizzle now. I'm just going to disappear out of shop because I've forgotten to get the milk out in the fridge, but I will be straight back. So this recipe is a bit similar in a way to the leek and mushroom gratin that we made, in the fact that we're going to use butter and oil, then we're going to add some flour and some milk and stock. But it's going to be a lot thinner, and it's just really popular. A lot of people do say, "Oh, I really love that soup." So if you haven't been into the cafe, if you're not a trainee, and I know there's a lot of people that are watching this who aren't trainees, soup in a roll in our cafe is £2.80. You can come in for a fully cooked meal for £4. So I think in Colchester, I'd like to think it's probably one of the cheapest places you can eat. It's all home cooked every day. We make homemade bread, always have jacket potatoes on the menu, and they're home cooked in an oven, they're not microwaved. So yes, it's a lovely place to come for lunch. A lot of people say that the cafe has a very restful and calming environment when you walk in, so that's always a nice thing to hear, although some of the trainees can be quite noisy. Right, so to the onions that are sweating down, we are going to add, just kicked my oven shelf, and add some mushrooms. So there's the mushrooms going in. Finish with the chopping board. Hear the dog groaning. You all right, Delilah? So another day when I can't get outside, hopefully in the next week I can take you outside and show you some of the fruit trees while they're still in flower. It continues with this wind, they might not be in flower for much longer. I've got a bit of a problem as well with pigeons, keep eating all the flower buds, which isn't very good. Just going to put this shelf back in the oven and then I won't keep kicking it over. Right, so that's frying down nicely. And then to that we're going to add a little bit of flour. I was told I didn't give you measurements last time we did this, so let's say it's only for 2 people, my soup. Let's say that much flour. So that's not very much, that's about a tablespoon. We'll give that a stir. And then to that, I'm going to add a vegetable stock cube. So let's add the vegetable stock cube. Give that a stir. Right, and then we're going to add some milk. Let's finish that off. We'll just rinse the bottle out. We'll add a little bit of water as well. This is just enough for 2 people for lunch. I'm not making it for 10 today. Then we'll put the milk carton in recycling. Okay, so we're going to let that cook. We'll let that boil up. While that's boiling up, I'm just going to come around and press a button because it's telling me my battery's getting low. So hang on a moment. Okay. So, some mushroom soup's cooking. Some nice sourdough to go with it. I've got some parsley here that I dried because we grow parsley in our greenhouse. So I'm just going to sort of, it is all dry, just crumble it up, and that's going to go in the soup as well. Just to get a few extra vitamins in there. I suppose one good thing that's come out of this, you won't all be eating McDonald's and KFC every day. There is that, isn't there? So, we'll put that in. I'll just move it over to the hot one, just to get it really hot. And we'll put in there a little bit of salt and a grind of pepper. Okay, give that a stir, bring it up to the boil. Just coming up to the boil now. Tidy all this away, be good clean cooks. Wipe our surface down. There we go. Right, so it's just coming up to the boil now, so I'll show it to you. I'm not going to eat it yet. I'll eat it later on today at lunchtime. So we'll take that off the heat. So there we are. Mushroom soup, lovely big bits of mushroom in there, nice bit of parsley, all ready to eat. I'd probably cook it for another 5 minutes at least, just to make sure everything is cooked properly. The mushrooms are nice and soft, but for me that's fine. Okay, so that's all ready to serve at lunchtime. Later on tonight I'm going to film my husband making a Thai paste for curry, and I'll probably put that on tomorrow, because tomorrow is officially the first day back at work, so I've got lots of sorting out to do. So